Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Drive Lounge podcast, Apex at the Lounge. I'm joined, Zach Sweeney, by Wesley and Kamarl. We're going to be giving you a talk through of all things motorsport, all things sim racing, and just what we get up to at the venue. So I hope you enjoy. I think what we'll start with is a bit of an introduction. We'll start with you, Wesley. Tell us a bit about yourself, what you do at Drive Lounge, and sort of your passion for sim racing.
Yeah, as Zach said, my name is Wesley. I work at Drive Lounge from day to day, setting people up, getting people on the sims. It's a really good opportunity for people to come in and try it out for the first time. And honestly, I love this place.
Good stuff. Paul's going to love you for that little shout out right at the beginning.
Get in early.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with you. Obviously, you've got some exciting prospects in the real world. Obviously, you're one of the head driver coaches here at Drive Lounge. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, so I'm Kamarl, as Zach said. I'm here at Drive Lounge as a sim racing specialist and a driver coach. So again, day to day, I set up people in the sims, help people improve their lap times. And then when I'm not here, I'm also a race engineer in BTC support paddock. So I engineer the cars there and do some driver coaching. And
we'll come back to that, I think, actually, about the point of the transferability between the real world and sim racing. My name's Zach. I'm a commentator by sort of trade, if you like. I've worked on things like Formula E, the esports World Cup, loads of different things in the world of racing. And then obviously at Drive Lounge, I deal with all the educational side of things. So I deal with the after school club and similar to Kamarl with the racing team and driver coaching and driver performance, that sort of thing. Speaking of sort of Drive Lounge racing sort of as a whole, Wesley, we'll start with you and sort of your experience with the team, because it's, you know, you're fairly new, fairly fresh to the whole side of things. We compete on both Assetto Corsa, which is the base sim that we use for the day-to-day running of the venue, and also the world of iRacing. Tell us how you've been finding that, coming from the more arcadey based sims at home.
But coming from Gran Turismo to iRacing, it's a completely different ballgame. Like, the tyre physics are way different. I'm used to just smashing the brake pedal on Gran Turismo because the ABS really helps you out there, whereas the ABS kind of goes against you on iRacing. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying, like, it's really good having competition as well. Like, out of my friends, I was normally the fastest, but coming here, I'm not the fastest, which is...
You did alright, yeah, a little bit of a tussle.
Yeah, it was alright. I could keep up. But I want to keep up and then go. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying, like, trying to learn, trying to get better, and obviously it's a great help having like an actual driver coach, race engineer here as well, which is pretty cool.
What do you reckon? You getting BTCC support paddock too?
he gives me a headache sometimes. Bad driving habits and so on.
Terrible driving.
How are you fast here and then not fast there and so on, but no, it's been a pleasure.
On the point of, I guess, like tough students, I guess, what are some of the biggest challenges that you have from sort of your side, both sim racing and real world?
Oh, so there's two parts of it. So people that try to blame the equipment for their downfall, which is like, oh, why is the steering this or the pedal that? And then you got the others that just they just can't get a grips of like steering in itself, like either too much lock or they keep putting on the throttle and just things like that. As long as the student shows that they really want to try and improve, then that just makes me happy, really. So.
I think work ethic is one of the biggest things. Like, that's something that we found, obviously, with the Drive Lounge racing team. Obviously, if you sort of want to get involved, we run regular competitions to be a part of our academy team, also the after school club. So if you are a young aspiring racer, or even if you're, you know, getting on a little bit, no offense, you can still come down, you can still give it a go, you can improve. Obviously, we run coaching sessions, everything like that. Showing a willingness to learn is so much more beneficial than where you are. I think we can pride ourselves on that. We've taken people that have come and have started at a pretty decent level, and we've got them elevated to an even higher level. But we've also taken people that have started sim racing or iRacing for the very first time, and they've come in, they've put in the work. And fair enough, they didn't start out great at all, but now they're at a level where they are really confident. So absolutely. I think there's a lot that we can sort of be quite proud of with that. And moving forward, again, make sure you do come down and give it a go, get us impressed, and we can start racing. On the topic of our racing team, all right, BSRC, obviously I'm driving in it, so I'll stay quiet for a moment. The format from what you've seen of it, what do you make of the competition we're racing in?
It's quite unique in terms of like the different tracks, the different cars each week. So it gives everyone an opportunity to excel in their own speciality. It reminds me of Cars 2, like the different type of circuits
World Grand Prix,
and cars and stuff. So yeah, I think it's a great challenge, and you really have to get up to speed quickly as well.
The netcode is the camera from Cars 2. That's what we're putting it down to.
How are you finding like competing?
Oh mate, it's rough. It's so sweaty. It's unbelievable.
But I think it's cool, like, it's the thing I was talking about before, and what you briefly touched on, like, the work ethic of like trying to get there. Like, it's so I find it super frustrating sometimes when I'm just like, I don't know where it is. But like when you actually go up against people, I find that so fun.
I've loved it. It's been so good, like, and so rewarding as well to have that sort of that progression. I've tried to document it to an extent just for sort of my self-reflection and things. And as a commentator, you know, there's so much that I see from top down, and you know, you can analyze all you like, but ultimately, you know, until you get deep down into the data, until you're pounding in the lap times, commentary is a whole different skill, I guess. And then being on the grid, putting a qualifying lap in, and having those nerves, having that adrenaline, having that heart race, I think it's just so good. And again, that reward at the end of the vindication, I guess, more than anything, of that reward coming across line in P4 and racing as a team and having something to be proud of. Again, even if we're not winning, but like we're saying, seeing that progress, I think is quite magical in a sense. So I'm really enjoying it. We'll see how I feel at the end of the season when I'm sick of the grind, but
I think it's
find
really
out.
cool. I can always appreciate like Naomi. She's all like real life racing experience. When Anthony Davidson come in the commentary box and Martin Brundle and whatnot, like when they have real life racing experience and then they're talking on it as well, I can always appreciate that a bit more.
Because when you're a spectator and you're a viewer, even if you've got top 10 wheel knowledge in the world, right? You still don't know everything, and there's still so much more, so much nuance. Even if it's why they're taking a different race line or why they're saving tyres at a different point, there's so much that go into it. And I guess from your perspective, it must be quite frustrating watching a broadcast sometimes, knowing that you've got the telemetry in front of you and you know what's going on.
Yeah, it really does, especially when I'm not going to name drop, but certain lead commentators, they start making assumptions about certain things when they just don't have the bigger picture, really.
So we've segued from our sim racing, real world now. All right. So we were saving a few topics for this. We were talking about the F1 regulations in 2026. Now, where do we stand?
Oh, I don't know. Like people ask me, they're like, oh yeah, who's your favourite driver? Who's your favourite driver? I'm like, I don't really know if I have a favourite driver anymore. When I first started, it was definitely Lewis, 100%, and then it was actually, that's a lie. It was Charles first. Then it was Lewis, because I was like, yeah, he might be good. But now I'm just like, I just want to see good racing. And I think we have been getting good racing, whether that is down to, whoever's going to use the mushroom first or not, the battery, whoever's going to use that first or whatnot. But like, I am really enjoying the battles that we're seeing. I say up and down the field, apart like maybe not Cadillac and Alonso and whatnot, but I'm really enjoying just seeing like wheel-to-wheel racing. I think that's the most exciting part.
Yeah, and we've had that in abundance, haven't we, so far this year? I mean, do you not find it like the way they're going about getting the racing? How do you feel about that? Do you feel like, because anyone can turn on rubber banding on Gran Turismo, do you know what I mean? How do you feel?
It's on the one hand, it's cool to watch, but then it can get that predictable kind of feeling with it. And I don't want it to be predictable. I don't think anyone wants racing to be predictable. If it was predictable, why are we watching it?
So for Alonso, do you want to stick with F1 or do you want to go and try and win IndyCar again while you have the chance?
With Honda or?
I don't think they'll be giving him a driver anytime soon.
It's just what goes on, because obviously when Honda were with Red Bull, 2019, 20 through there, I mean, it was a very, very strong engine. Right. So what goes wrong at the start of an engine race change where Mercedes are rapid, Ferrari are kind of there, Red Bull drop off a bit, and Honda are just nowhere?
With Aston Martin signing this contract, Honda already dropped out of F1 the year before, or they said they weren't going to continue. So 60% of their workforce really went to like Mercedes powertrains or Red Bull. So it was a new team really, and they didn't really gauge the situation that was at hand. So now everything is a bit too late. I think they can turn it around though. They have world-class facilities, they've got the best wind tunnel, new factory.
Silverstone,
there were things where they were 4 months behind on the chassis anyways, because you saw the correlation wasn't working as it should. So I think they will have to suffer now, but the chassis will come good. It's just that is Honda going to come good, which is more of a question mark.
I mean, it's that thing again from motivation, right? Like Norris has just come from winning a world championship, and obviously that has its not even controversies. I'd say people have their opinions about his championship and like how he got it or whatever. But like just not being able to like that would really eat me up. Not being able to fight the year after and defend myself. Like Lewis 21 to 22. Oh my God, I was in pain. I was in pain. I was in pain. I wasn't even driving. I was in so much pain. I was like, this is horrible. Oh, Lewis is washed. Bro, it's not his fault. You don't go one day being, you know, battling for leads with Max to one day just not. It doesn't. That doesn't happen.
And you can say the same about Max now. Like fans are trolling him.
Exactly.
Like the Melbourne lockup. It's clearly the car's fault, and people are, you know, questioning his abilities already.
Yeah, I think Max has made enough of a statement to sort of say.
Yeah.
But on the topic of Lando, I mean, he's a driver that we know historically also like struggles quite a lot in terms of psychology. I remember hearing something about sort of, because his race starts, that brutal statistic on the F1 graphic of has qualified on pole 7 times, has never led the opening lap or something like that. Obviously he made amends to it, but there was a time where he was just on the simulator doing practice start, and he was writing his times down on the board religiously. Like he was obsessed with it. And I think a driver like him, obviously he's going to be boosted that confidence from the World Championship, feel on top of the world. But again, there's, like you say, those doubts of, well, yeah, but if Max or McLaren's car, Piastri bottling it, blah, blah, blah. Ultimately, obviously, that doesn't matter. You know, we don't do shoulda, coulda, woulda, anything like that. You can't do that in racing at all. It's the end result. It's what happens. But as a driver, psychologically, that's absolutely going to be taking a hit, right? He's come from the top of the world to now, the team that I've invested my life in, I've had one crack at it. Thankfully, I did win. If you're going into a race with zero confidence, and again, from a driving perspective, if you're going into a corner with zero confidence in the car, in your ability, not knowing where you're going to brake, or going into it tense or shaky, and telling yourself, I can't spin, I don't want to spin, I don't want to spin, I don't want to spin, you're going to spin. But you need to go into it with sort of your head up high, your chest forward, and sort of getting those results. And that's something I think George has done really, really well. Obviously, because he's a tall guy, his head has to be up.
Yeah, George, I mean, I think those years at Williams, there was a point where everyone was just like, no, we need to get him in Mercedes now, we need to get him. Like, those years at Williams, I think made him so, and I've got a theory, right?
Here we go.
So, I'm going to talk about George first, and I'm going to talk about Max, right? Max being at Williams had to maximize every single opportunity that he could. Granted, there weren't many. There was Imola where he, you know, obviously the bump and he went into the wall. There was Imola, he messed that up. But in terms of quali laps, he was Mr. Saturday, right? He was nailing these quali laps, and he had to. Like, you didn't even have a choice. It's like, if you weren't nailing your quali laps, you're then going to be P20, right? Max from 2019, this is my theory by the way, Max from 2019 to 2021, maybe even 2018, but I think he was heavily shaped by having to be pinpoint perfect to try and catch up with Mercedes. Like, I think inadvertently Lewis not created Max, that would be crazy to say, because Max has actual like raw talent and whatnot, but that consistency of having to be like, if you don't get the quali lap in, you're now going to be P4, which is a step away from the podium. I don't know. I think
it's valid, because again, it comes down to right at the beginning what you're saying with competition, right? When you've got something to chase, it's so much better, because again, telemetry, data performance, if you've got a benchmark, you've got something tangible that you can go and get after, right? So you know, okay, I'm braking 10 meters too early turn 1, or whatever, there's a bump at the apex turn 2, it's anything like that, and you've got something tangible and a benchmark that you can go and get after. I think Max, over that period, and again, that's probably the time that I really sort of found Max really appealing as a driver, and his raw talent was that he was the only one in an era where Mercedes were just head and shoulders above the rest. He was always there, Hambot there, right? All the time, and he was there, he was pressuring them. And then Silverstone 2020, I'm not sitting behind like a grandma, right? He had one opportunity, he was like, I'm not wasting it, this car is good. I think again, he's always been a driver that drives on the nose. We've seen that sort of through his karting when he was racing in the WSK Euro Series and stuff in KZ2s. He is a driver that is very pinpoint, and again, that comes into the Red Bull, like Albon was saying in a podcast a few years ago. It's like turning the sensitivity all the way up. But I think again, when you're chasing those margins, having to get closer and closer and closer, I think he was forcing himself to drive more and more on the edge, and then that's that ruthlessness that he then had through to 2021. I think you're on something. Right, lads, let's talk tracks. All right, so we've got, I don't want to know how many at Drive Lounge, right? We have got plenty of tracks, right? Keeps us busy, doesn't it, right? Obviously, right, come on, right, favourite tracks, you know, Silverstone, Spa, whatever, right? Who cares? Who cares? Niche, whatever, right? Down to the nitty-gritty. What is an obscure track that we've got that you just actually just think is quality?
Putting me on the spot now. I'm going to go with one of the new ones that we've added, Long Beach.
good shout.
Nice little street circuit, bumpy, fast.
You just like it because you go to gym, you can deal with the force feedback.
Oh my God, I did it the other day in my own.
Feel like Alonso.
All right, you've got Long Beach. I mean, maybe I go Road America, even though I don't actually know it, but I do like that track. Like, I like watching it. I think that little back section where it's just like, I think it looks super out of place.
Yeah.
And then the freaking hill. Yeah, that's mine. What about you?
I'm gonna say, I don't, because again we can say obscure and then people will be in the comments being like, oh, that's not obscure, everyone knows Road America, everyone knows Long Beach, blah, blah, blah. It'll be the Americans, IndyCar fans, they'll be having us off. We're British, alright, relax, calm down.
To us it's different.
Please. We don't know what a Long Beach is. For Anglesey, I love Anglesey.
I didn't even know what that is.
Anglesey, I mean any of the UK track, I love Anglesey. Donington Park, obviously I know Donington Park is a bit less obscure, but Donington Park is so good. But Anglesey, I mean, you've got, and again, one of my first real life commentary experiences were at Anglesey, and from the commentary box you could see Snowdon.
I don't even think I've heard of Anglesey.
No, it's in Wales. Very west of Wales. You have to give it a go. It is a roller coaster. It is a quality track.
Yeah, I got to try it out. There's loads of different tracks that I've got to try out on here though. We have it's like over 90 tracks.
Something like that. And
He's
different
probably
layouts,
done all of them.
configurations.
You probably have.
No, I haven't. Not yet. There's a few where
I'd say you've done about 70% of the tracks that we have.
Yeah, we can say that.
We've got to. We've got to be.
Yeah,
People need to come in and give us let us know. We need to know what we're talking about.
This is true.
All right, tracks, obviously, right? Weather conditions, lads. All right, wet weather, dry weather. Ooh. Come on, what are we feeling in the wet? We're British. We've got to be quick. Surely, we've got to be quick in the wet.
Man, I feel like I am, and then one of you guys jump in, and I'm like, oh yeah, 3 seconds. Cheers, thanks.
I nailed that lap. 3 seconds.
Yeah. Do you know what? I like Austria in the wet. Okay. I did one of my first wet races in league race, and I did around there, and I won.
Oof.
I won, guys. I was really proud of myself.
Good effort.
I like to give myself a challenge, so Monaco in the wet. Yeah.
Get out of my face.
Some people like to see the world burn, don't they?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Or you're trying to flex on that, aren't you? Guys, I love Monaco. I love Monaco in the wet. Yeah. Now, I think a random combo, just something high power, like a Lotus 79 or something, like an old F1 track, maybe Monza historic or something in that vein in the Lotus 79 would be really cool. Or like Senna's McLaren.
I was literally just thinking
about that. Be really good, coming out of every corner fully sideways. But that's what I find that to be some of the most fun driving that you can have, right? I mean, you get into something like a Porsche GT3 and it's planted and it's great. Yeah. But when you're on the limit, it's just like, okay, yeah, the car's gripped, it's cool. Yeah. I want to go into a corner and be completely sideways, flooring it, banging off everything. I think that is probably one of the rawest forms of driving you can get. And in the rain, because there's less grip, and you've got dog water, to quote you, tyres, right, on those old F1 cars, just makes the sliding so much easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the turbo comes in, so
third gear, traction.
Yeah, go on. And then my hands slip off the wheel, and I'm like, oh, great.
Oh, funny you say that.
Funny you
say about your hands slipping off the wheel. So, Drive Lounge Racing gloves, right? Obviously, big shout out to IMB and all of their efforts. I have a pair of these. I used them yesterday for the BSRC. I'm quite happy with them. I mean, are we a gloves, no gloves type of person?
I'm normally a no gloves person, but I'm getting like these weird calluses on my thumbs. I think
you should need them.
I think it's time.
These are great. I need to grab myself a pair. I normally wear gloves just for the endurance races. Yeah. Okay. So like 12 hours Sebring or so on, or 2 hours like midweek races and so on. I need the gloves. It just gives me a bit more consistency over a long stint, and my hands feel much better afterwards.
And they look sick. That's worth half a second a lap.
Of course,
that is worth half a second. Obviously, on broadcast and things, it's really, really good. And again, big shout out to this. The grip is amazing. I've used them for karting as well, in sort of rental karts and stuff. Works really, really well. So, yeah, definitely cop yourself a pair. Should we give them a go?
Yeah, definitely.
Let's do it.